Welcome to Destination Marriage, a podcast about successfully navigating the winding roads of marriage. Whether you are looking to get married, you are engaged, newly married, or have been married for years, we want to share with you how we have successfully navigated those winding roads over the past 18 plus years.
Join us on this journey as we discuss real life experiences, both highs and lows, and what we have learned along the way. Happiness, grace, passion are some of the things we all strive for in marriage, and we invite you to take this journey with us. Welcome to Destination Marriage. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Destination Marriage. I am your co-host, Tommy.
And I'm Jackie.
And today we're going to be talking about getting fit together.
Yes.
Working out with your spouse or significant other. Why are we discussing this? I think that, it's a topic that in an activity and a kind of a part of everyone's lives or most people's lives. But maybe you haven't really focused on the working out together kind of component or what that might look like. And, maybe it should be something you should consider in your lives. So we're going to talk about it today.
We really hope that some of our experiences can help you guys, you and your spouse, avoid any conflict, but open your relationships to new experiences and ultimately help you and your spouse have a closer, more intimate relationship. We believe that taking this time out to work out together is really an important activity overall for your relationship, and it benefits you both individually as well. Yeah, no, it's just stay away from it.
Saying the word. Oh, you're getting a little soft.
Or how about when you tell a guy, you look like you lost.
Oh gosh,
weight?
For a guy that works out a lot.
For a guy that works out.
When they hear like,
but if you were to tell me you lost weight, yeah, thanks.
Yeah. Whereas if I say that to a girl, isn't that weird how that different?
If you were to tell me like you need to, maybe eat some more, or to me that makes it seem like, oh, my cardio must be doing its job. I lost a little bit of some water weight.
I think that's a general rule, right? You kind of learn how to compliment your spouse in a way that builds them up, right?
Well, some people still don't know how to do this, though. But so I think it is important. Suggesting that their partner should work out a certain area that they're sensitive about is probably something you should just steer clear from.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
We'll kind of circle back on when we talk about better ways to work out together, like how to kind of what's the reverse of that.
We'll touch on that later. Yeah, for sure.
I think another one is if there is an imbalance in the fitness level, something to avoid is just pushing the other person too hard. So let's say that I'm in better shape, or you've been running a lot more than I have, and you're just like screaming and yelling like, let's go, keep moving, and you can do this, and
I think we've experienced this.
Causing resentment potentially. You got to be careful.
I think we've experienced this though.
Okay.
We have.
Yeah.
There are times and there are things that you obviously you run for a longer period of time than I do. And we
Which
both
I've built
run,
up to, right?
But,
yeah.
Obviously because you've run more races, when we run together, you do push me at times where maybe I've reached my point of exhaustion. And yes, it can get to a point where maybe I'm getting irritated. Or even
or it does.
It has. It has. You have successfully brought me to that point. But yeah, I would definitely say if there's an imbalance in the fitness level,
just be very careful with how you do that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to make the other person feel like they need to they feel like they need to throw their hands up and quit. You're not there to discourage one another.
I agree. So this one's kind of for the guys. I definitely would have, if something to avoid is as you're building out a workout plan for the day, or what are we going to do, is avoid the big muscle movements that are going to just not really appeal to your spouse. Like don't try to do heavy squats or bench press and say, well, that's my workout, so I want you to do that with me, because that's just not typically a lot of those workout
that's
movements,
not for her.
right? Are not for on average, right? We get it, but I think again, it's about coming together, not creating any type of resentment or anger in the process. Yeah,
absolutely. And I guess on that note, and this applies to both, not just women, but also guys as well. And I know that I've done this, but complaining is probably not the best route to take. Obviously you're going to get frustrated at times,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're at a different level as far as your fitness level in general, you may get a little frustrated. There are times where we've trained for races. There are things that I felt like I really couldn't do, or maybe I reached my point. And yes, I know that I've complained. There are times where you've pushed me and I didn't want to maybe challenge myself, work out a little bit longer. Ultimately, I've said thank you in the long run. But yes, I've complained, and I know guys have done it too. But
Yeah.
I am guilty of complaining. And if you can refrain from doing so, I would say try to stay away from complaining and just kind of embrace the opportunity to work together and reach your goals.
Yeah.
They don't have to look identical as far as fitness, but working towards those goals together. Whatever those may look like.
Yeah, always focus on the why, like why you're doing,
Yeah.
why you want to work out
I
together.
mean, obviously you want to stay healthy for each other and for yourself, but
Sure. I mean, those are some of the big ones that we thought when we were kind of talking about this topic. We said, what are
yeah.
some of those things that really are landmines? And I really think that's kind of the bigger ones that we've encountered, I guess,
Yeah.
over, I'm sure everybody's got their own personalities and things, but those are the ones that we've found we've maybe worked through a little bit the hard
I think
way.
so, yeah. And the other thing I know we didn't really talk about, but just kind of comes to mind is maybe getting into kind of a rut with fitness. So I think you constantly together need to be, on that point of complaining. At the same time, you also need to be challenging each other because you can both fall into a pattern
Yeah,
where
your
you
body plateaus.
plateau
Sure.
and you're not seeing results, and then you can both get discouraged, or it could just get boring. So I think, also challenging each other and pushing each other and removing the complaining from the equation. Yeah. That would probably be a good idea.
All right. So I think it's what everybody would like to hear is, okay, well, what are the best ways to enjoy each other when working out or going to the gym? So
Yeah.
let's switch gears a little bit, and I think we'll probably end up doing the counter to some of the negatives. We've kind of talked about some of those, but I'll let you kind of lead off when we talk about what are best practices or what are the best ways to enjoy each other.
Yeah. I
What do you
mean,
think?
it's an important activity for your relationship overall, but I think for working out, really kind of putting together and piecing together a plan for the day or for that evening, depending on when you're going to work out, is really important. That way you're not floundering with, what are we going to do? You don't wait till you get to the gym to figure out what you want to do. I think it's best, and what we've found that works well for us is kind of putting together, and obviously now that we have phones that basically can do everything. We have running apps and all this stuff that can help us to be efficient. So if you're going for a run, use a running app that can track you and tell you exactly what your distance is and track your time together.
And have an idea of what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you're going for a run, how long are we running?
Right.
What kind of
Exactly.
pace do you want to keep? Those
Yes.
kind of things. Yeah.
Like how long do you want to do your cardio? Are you going to start out with a stretch first? How long you're going to go for your workout? So if Tommy and I know, like if we know, we're going to go into the gym for an hour and we're going to work out together. We know we're going to start out with a stretch. Then maybe we're going to go into our cardio. We even know exactly, how long we're going to do our cardio, and then we break down what we're working on, whether it's upper body or lower body, what those workouts look like, so we can maximize our time.
Sure.
And we can also stay on point. And then sometimes I don't really do this as much as you do. I know you like to track kind of like how much you're lifting, or, if you've increased your weight. And that's also really good if the couple wants to maybe track from start to finish to kind of see just how they've grown. Or
we did that. It benefited both of us when we first started running. For our first obstacle course race we did. We really hadn't been running in years, so we were, I naturally do that just because I guess being an athlete my whole life, I just was trained that way as far as working out. But we saw big benefits from that when I was like, babe, we just did 4 miles and
yeah, it's encouraging.
We did 1.5 miles the first time we were like about to die.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, seeing those little wins and those little gains is important.
Yeah.
Kind of similar to that theme of knowing what you're doing. What we've found, and I think that has probably evolved a little bit with us around with our workouts is really coming up with a be creative around workout plans that complement both partners. So as an example, do a lot of body weight exercises because it doesn't require different weights. If you're going to do squats, and you
Yeah.
do 20 squats,
Like burpees.
burpees, all these burpees, pull-ups, squats, push-ups, all things that are body weight that you guys can do side by side, and you don't have to worry about changing plates or changing weights and taking all that time. You can use a lot of dumbbells, because dumbbells, you know, the other one you can just grab the weight that's comfortable for each other. If you are going to do stuff with a bar and weights, put the smaller weights on the inside. That way, if the guy's going to do a heavier weight, they just grab throw the plate on and off. Yeah. And it makes it easier instead of changing out everything and wasting time.
Yeah, but pull-ups, push-ups, the ropes are really good.
Yeah, ropes, all the body weight, anything body weight or with where you can use dumbbells or kettlebells. Similarly, if you are running and one person is a much better cardio, find a place where you're doing lap type of runs. Yeah. Instead of like, hey, we're going to run 5 miles and then we go 2.5 miles there and 2.5 miles back. That puts one person at potential at a disadvantage, versus if you're doing something on a track or at a place where park where you can, the other person that reaches their limit, the other person can continue without kind of creating any type of
and then maybe in between that time, like me, okay, so this would be me, obviously, that would stop after the 2 mile mark and you would come and get me. Maybe at that time then I'm going to do push-ups or do abs or lunges or squats, and then, you know, take that little bit of a breather and then catch back up.
Yeah, so you're still working out together, but you know, you're both getting and pushing yourselves individually at the same time. Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
But the other thing, like with that that you had mentioned as far as like those outdoor workouts, we've done a lot of like different locations too.
Yeah, I think changing it up has been fun. Whether it's even here locally, we'll go down to the beach and work out at the boardwalk, or we've run at a couple of our parks locally. We go to, you know, different areas around town to work out, and we also highly recommend getting good workouts in when you're traveling.
Oh yeah.
Right, and those are memorable. We were in New York City a couple years ago, and we went for a run in Central Park.
Not in Grand Central.
No, we didn't have in Grand Central, but we ran in Central Park.
That would be kind of funny though. But no.
We worked out and ran at the DC Mall on a business trip when you came up for the weekend with me.
Yeah. We've done the boardwalk in Miami. Yeah. You know, obviously the beaches locally.
And we've done a number of beach workouts together when we've been
in random places. You know, the gyms at hotels and stuff too. But if you can get outside, and I think it just changes it up, and you can also take everything in and also burn those calories from all the
food
added
and booze
vacation calories. At least I need to.
Great.
Always, you know, I think another thing is like, you know, just kind of supporting each other throughout the workout. You know, kind of little encouragements. I think, you know, we do this too at the gym, where we kind of, even if we're not working out necessarily on a planned workout, but we're at the gym together, maybe we decide, you know, I want to work on this today, you want to work on that today, because maybe we both already did legs that week. But we still kind of check in with one another and, you know, just to kind of encourage each other. It's fun.
I think you have to be mindful of how you support each other, because it is your spouse. It's not your workout buddy. You know, you're not lifting for football anymore. This is your spouse. Yeah. So you have to be mindful of how you support each other, right? You have to you just have to be careful, and it's fun. It's flirtatious. We have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. Wonder if we annoy people at the gym.
Who cares?
Kind of feel like we do.
Well, maybe it's the kissing, and when you can't keep your hands off me.
True.
That's, you know,
maybe inappropriate.
Oh well. We have fun with it.
Yeah. Definitely. What else do you think is like a positive?
As far as the benefits that we've seen from it?
Yeah, like, I mean, just...
I think the encouragement piece is, I don't want to underestimate that, because, you know, it really builds me up when you come over and, you know, you're like, hey, go do another pull-up. I like the way your back looks when you do a pull-up. Or I like coming over and, you know, if you're working on legs or lunges and stuff, you know, I may make some inappropriate comment to you. And I think it makes you feel good. It makes me feel good.
No one else can hear these comments.
They're not
he
loud.
Doesn't yell them across the gym.
But
let's be clear.
But it's fun. It's flirtatious, and it's kind of a different. It's a different atmosphere to encourage one another. Yeah. And to build each other up. And I think it's been hugely helpful for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about afterwards? What about after a workout?
Well, a lot of times we'll go get like a little bite to eat, maybe we'll go. It depends
Mm-hmm.
where we're working out, but like we'll get like a pressed juice or typically try to get something healthy. We kind of turn it into a little bit of an
We
opportunity to have
do
a date.
we do sushi dates quite a bit.
Sushi dates,
Right after
yeah,
working
we've
out, we
done
go.
that. We've done the beach. We've gone to this little cute place that has like organic pressed juices and acai
Acai
bowls
bowls and things, yeah.
and it feels good because then you're kind of refueling your body with healthy stuff and just trying something different. Especially like a new restaurant.
Yeah.
I know there's something else that you really like to do as well, but
I would highly encourage everyone to, before doing anything else when you get home, hit the sheets. It's hot, it's fun. It's you've built some endorphins up during the workout, and you're both sweaty equally.
Yeah, it increases your libido. I mean, working out.
Yeah.
And you just saw your partner,
It's awesome. Let's just leave it at that, right?
It's
Do it. Don't say, well, I'm all sweaty.
It's
That's
another
the whole
benefit.
point. That's the whole point. No, it's great. And we already kind of talked about it, but really, you don't have to work out and do all the same workout together, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you can go to the gym, and just the fact that you go to the gym together and you're in the same area in your same space, you're not doing the exact same workout, but there's just, it just builds part of your relationship in a different way. There's so much mundane and so much routine in life with day-to-day work and so on. It's a different, something that's relatively easy if you both do it, but you don't have to do the same workout.
No, not at all.
Right?
I think there are times where, and this is a positive thing, or I receive in a positive way, and there's times where I'm like, ugh, where you've come over and you're like, you need to push yourself harder because the goals that I have for myself when it comes to my workout. We've discussed like our personal goals as far as things that we want to work on with our cardio or whatever it may be. And there are times where I think you've recognized, oh, maybe I'm not, running hard enough, or you could tell like I'm not putting 100% into it. And, that's also another thing. I mean, and it's again done in a positive way because you want to encourage your spouse to reach their personal goals with working out, especially if you're doing individual things. Separate of one another, but at the gym together.
Yeah, I agree.
That's right. One other thing that I think that
we haven't really talked about it, but it's actually been really awesome.
And we haven't done it in a while just because our schedules have been crazy, but we were really on a good kick with it, is yoga or hot yoga. We've done both, but I prefer hot yoga because I feel like the sweating just of the impurities, and it also was really beneficial to us both, not only physically, just stretching. It's a completely different workout, but it also helped me kind of rest my mind.
Sure.
And obviously in yoga, maybe we're not conversing in that same way like you would at the gym. It's a quieter space. You're really focused on those poses, but you're still kind of, you're still pushing your body to a completely different limit, challenging your body, as far as different muscles that you're using at that time. But I think because you are really hyper focused on clearing your mind at the time and focusing on the yoga and sweating out the impurities, that even afterwards we were able to kind of connect even more so together.
Yeah, you're both. It's a shared experience, even if you're not like you said, conversing throughout. Yeah, it's been great.
We really, really loved it.
Why are we not going that more?
I know.
We need to get
Our
back
schedules
to
have been so crazy, but we need to get back to hot yoga. I loved it.
All right, point of
and it's really
point
hot.
of order. We will get back to that. And it's hot. It's hot, and it's hot. So before we kind of wrap up, I did just want to ask you kind of a question off the top cuff.
Yeah.
So from your perspective,
okay,
what have I done well with respect to how I push you with working out, and what how has that evolved? Like when I first started and we first started working out together, where I was maybe too aggressive, or what would you recommend men to how men should approach this kind of topic?
That's a good question. Well, first of all, I am light years from where I used to be when it comes to working out. And
yeah, you've dramatically improved.
Yeah,
like, and gotten stronger, and your endurance, and everything.
Everything. I mean, I wasn't lifting really. I mean, I was running because I ran track previously, but I wasn't lifting at all. And even with running, I probably was running, but not pushing myself, each time like pushing myself a little further or harder.
It's more about just
You've
getting a
challenged
jog
me.
in.
Yeah. And you've challenged me, which is great. But I do think that you're communicating that better. You were probably a little bit harder on me in the beginning because like you said, you were coming from having just, been really heavily involved in
That's
athletics
a bunch of
with a bunch
dudes
of guys, and that
yeah.
same approach, you took that same approach and applied it to me. And it seemed really aggressive, and maybe insensitive at times. And also, at the time back then, I was also more of a new mom, so I had long bouts of not working out as heavily because I
Sure.
couldn't. I was very pregnant. And I think you thought, or it came across as like you were frustrated and thought I was being lazy at times, and so it was hurtful. You don't do that anymore. This is a long time ago. But but now it feels more of like a team effort.
I agree.
And you understand what my goals are, and we understand that but we're both working on different goals because obviously we have a different physique. There are things that you just naturally can do that I can't do, but you're respectful of those goals, and you're definitely more thoughtful with your words. And I really appreciate the fact that you put a lot of detail into planning out our workouts. There are certain things just because of your background with athletics that maybe I just don't know, as far as like certain muscles that I want to work out. And I appreciate you take the time to kind of carve out or look up certain things that would benefit me, that might be better for my body, versus like, I'm not going to bench press, or
Right.
I don't want to really build my back the same way you want to build your back. So yeah, I could see a huge difference from when we first started. And at the same time, when we first started working out together back then, it definitely wasn't as intense either. I mean, we weren't carving out as much time. I don't think it took the place in our life, a level of importance that it has now.
Yeah, it's definitely become more of a structured part of our world.
And I wish it had, but this is something we've learned. And so that's why, I mean, one of the things that, a lot of people may not know with, first getting, when you initially get married and the beginning stages. So if we could go back, oh my gosh, we would absolutely do the very same things that we're doing now. It would have been better for our fitness and us as a couple, and maybe even,
Yeah, I think if both partners are already into it, maybe some of these suggestions will help as far as little things that we've done to kind of improve that process.
Yeah.
There's also maybe both partners aren't working out at all.
That's true.
Right? And so that's a different kind of dynamic. And, so hopefully some of these tips and tricks will help them like get started.
Yeah.
I think the one that's probably the most potentially dicey is when you have maybe one spouse that doesn't work out and one that does, right? And how do you motivate the other without being seen as aggressive and condescending and kind of irritating, right? I think,
that can be tricky, I think.
Yeah.
You and I both have always pretty much been active, other than obviously I had to take breaks when I had babies, but I think that can be that kind of goes back to being very mindful of your words, and like when I mentioned earlier about not mentioning an area that may be sensitive, and that in general may be a sensitive topic when it just comes to fitness and working out. So I think it may be let's say it's the wife, the husband doesn't work out at all, it could be a suggestion of, hey, I think this would be really fun for us to do together. Would you be willing to try it out? And it could be start with the class. It could be start with a long walk or a jog, and just start it out that way and make it fun.
Yeah.
And then I think one of the things that you did that I don't do, and I haven't done in the past, was kind of tracking our progress.
Yeah.
And maybe if that spouse also tracks the progress without the other spouse knowing, and just showing them, oh my gosh, look at where you started and where you are now. And that might be something that also encourages them to want to continue working out and seeing those results. I feel like, seeing the results is really key, instead of feeling like, well, I'm doing this because the other person's making me do it, or they're unhappy with the way I look.
Yeah, because ultimately the person has to decide that's not working out. It's not, this doesn't care about that stuff.
Yeah.
You can't force somebody to do it. I mean, you could, but that's not going to last long.
Right. This should be a fun thing. It should be fun.
Yeah. And so I think that it's really important to know your spouse and to know, in general, how to approach them. Hopefully you do. And hopefully we all learn and evolve as our as your marriage progresses. But so if you're like, for example, if sometimes a kick in the butt metaphorically is okay, like sometimes you do that to me and I'm fine with it. I may get annoyed for like a minute, but sometimes I need kind of a metaphoric kick in the butt to like open my eyes or make me snap out of it or snap into something that I should be doing.
Yeah.
So, if that works for your spouse, then say, look, I bought you a gym membership and I bought you some gym clothes. Let's go to the gym. Depends on the spouse.
Okay,
I get it. No,
I'm
just, that's one example, right? But I think you're right. Like on average, it's if somebody's not working out and the other spouse is fit, that approach probably wouldn't work. But and I think yours is a much better suggestion is, don't be too assertive, but that person has to
And the gym can be intimidating. So that's why I think like maybe doing an outdoor activity together first.
Good idea.
Inches your way into
Going for a run in the neighborhood is a much more comfortable, easy intro and kind of sliding into it versus
because I think the gym can, if you're not someone who works out, that's not part of your lifestyle and maybe never has been, I think the gym can be intimidating to some people, and that's probably not the first step I would take. Now, if you wanted to buy me an outfit to go work out, I will fully embrace it.
Which I have. I like buying workout clothes.
I like
because they look amazing on you.
But I would be careful with that for some others.
Yeah, if it's or if you buy a size 2 sizes smaller.
Yeah, that could be tough. Maybe get a water bottle, like one of the Swell bottles that you buy.
There you go.
Like
that's a start. That's kind of nice. a non-aggressive, but
or a yoga mat. Hey, let's go take a class together.
Yeah, it could be fun.
That's kind of
I like that suggestion. I'm just saying, but in general, know your spouse, right? And what motivates them and how you can motivate them in other areas of your life and apply that to the gym. Just be very mindful of how it's communicated.
Absolutely.
I think that goes without saying. It's like the method of communication is crucial for this. So well, that's our topic for today. I think it's it's working out's been hugely beneficial for our marriage.
Yes.
It's
part of our weekly routine.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 4 or 5 days out of the week now. I'm recovering from the flu, so I've actually not been at the gym for a little over a week with Tommy, and I feel just all out of sorts. But, spring is officially here. Summer is going to be here soon. So now it's like the best time. I mean, it's never too late, but now's a really great time to get started. And if you haven't already, get outside. Yeah.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, something about being outside, working out, a lot of our memories of within the working out world are outside stuff where we've run outside or worked out outside and gone to the beach and, like you said, travel, all those things.
And another motivator is summer. So that's why I'm saying, like, now it's probably
beach ready, beach body ready.
I mean, the beach or the pool.
Time's running out.
TikTok. No, it's fine.
No, it's been great. It's brought more intimacy, emotionally, physically. It's been fantastic, and we encourage everyone to do it. And hopefully, like I said earlier, hopefully some of our tips, some of our things to avoid.
Keep us posted. Let us know.
We always are open to suggestions. If you have any great workouts that you guys have done with your spouses that you say, hey, we've gotten to this routine and this is what we do and it's fantastic and here's why. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Sharing things that are beneficial to your marriage is good for all of us. So please reach out to us at feedback@destinationmarriagepodcast.com.
I want to hear from you, yes.
We absolutely want to hear from you. Until next time, again, I'm Tommy.
I'm Jackie, and go get your fitness on.
Bye, guys.
Bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and if so, please continue to listen on Podbean, iTunes, or Spotify, and hit subscribe. Also, visit us at destinationmarriagepodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at destination_marriage, and be sure to tune in to our next episode.